Donna here. I just wanted to give you all a real quick update about how my wax try-in appointment went yesterday. So I had to go to the dentist on Thursday for my wax try-in. I went back, I come back out, I went back in, I sat in there for a long time, I came back out and went home. So basically what happened, first of all, and this is the issue that I had the first time around with affordable dentures, is that where my immediate dentures were concerned, they didn't listen to me whenever I would go in for adjustments or relines or whatever. It was on the very rare occasion that they would listen to me, and it was only one particular girl that would take anything that I had to say into account, and it was the tech girl that would work with me, the one that, went between the lab and the office. Okay, so that being said, I had a very similar experience right off. Everybody in affordable dentures is new, besides the two ladies that work up front and the doctor. Everybody that's in my affordable dentures is new. So this really tall drink of water named Chris called me back and had me sit down. And I tried them in, and they were horrible. I'll pop a picture up, I guess. And I told him, I said, the midline is off. The midline on the top and the bottom don't match up, and they're all leaning to the right. And he said, okay. So he sends him back to the lab and tells Larry, the lab manager, that and I hear him because you can hear everything in that place. He goes out into the hallway and tells Larry, the lab manager, that the lower midline is off. I'm like, but the upper midline is off. Now, my immediate dentures, and I'll pop a picture of those up, the midline was about a half of an incisor's width to the left. And the same thing with this wax try-in. It looks like somebody took and went right whenever they set the teeth, like they put the model sideways and then started setting teeth. So they told me to go back out front and have a seat, and they'll call me back whenever the reset is done and I'm ready for try number 2. So that's all well and good. I go out, I sit, I wait. And then I get called back by a different person. This person's name is Dodie. And Dodie has waited on me before. She has helped me before, and she's the one that listens to me whenever I have something to say. So I go back with Dodie, and she puts them in, and she's like this, and she says, those are really off. And she's like, let's see what we can do about making these perfect. You sit tight. So she takes them away, goes away. Now, mind you, up to this point, someone else has been snapping in the lower, because I guess that's what they do. They just do it up front, and like themselves. And then, so they get sent back. They come back out, and they're still wrong. They're still off on the upper. She says, it's still leaning to me. And I said, yeah, me too. So that was try-in number 2, 3. So then try-in number 4, they finally go and get the doctor. Dr. Cannon comes in. He redoes my bite registration. He looks at my bite. Everything's good on the bite. And then he says, okay, so the midline is off, and he sends it back to Larry. He explains to Larry exactly what to do. So Larry straightens up the teeth so they're not leaning anymore and moves everything over to the right the way that it needs to be, except for it doesn't line up with my natural midline in the middle of my face. They line up themselves, one with the other, but then the whole thing has to come over here. So after we determined that that's what was going on, Dr. Cannon asked me, he's like, so what are you looking for here? They look good to me. The midlines line right up. The top and the bottom, they match. I'm like, I want them to line up with my natural midline on my face. And he's like, oh, apparently we were speaking 2 different languages. That's okay, because we got that worked out. Suddenly, English plus English equals conversation. That was cool. So after that got figured out, then he's like, okay, I'm going to have you snap these in, take them out, so he could do something else. Take a blue bite is what they did. So he had me snap them in, and I'm sitting there like, he's like, no, use 2 fingers on each side. I'm like, okay. Just trying it. It's so difficult. And I finally got one side snapped down. And so then I go to take my hand out of my mouth to talk to him, and whoop, it pops back up. I'm like, oh no, if the implants don't work, I don't know what I'm going to do, because this is pretty permanent. That's pretty permanent, right? That's pretty permanent. So, he shows me to line up the little cap doohickeys inside of the lower denture try-in with the little posts here, and kind of wait until I feel them kind of pivot and then push down. I did that, and I'm still like like pulling and pulling and pulling. So finally I get 2 thumbs on one side and I go crack, crack. He says, well, that's one way to do it. I've never seen anybody do it that way. I'm like, they're in there. He says, yeah, they are. So he says, let's see you snap them back out. And I said, okay. He said, just distribute your forces evenly like this and just pop them out. I said, okay. So I do this and I hear a crack, and I'm thinking, it didn't feel like it came loose, but it felt here like it came loose. So then I pull it out, and it's the wax denture without the snaps. The snaps and the base wax that the base plate that the snaps were anchored into is still in my face. He says, that's all right. That happens all the time. I'm like, phew, okay. So I had to grab it like this with the pincher grip and be like, hey, crack, and it came out. So that was an adventure. One thing that I will say, though, Dr. Cannon explained to me, because I was really worried about how difficult it was going to be for me to put my teeth in and take my teeth back out. I'm like, I'm going to get them in and I'm never going to be able to take them out again. He's like, no. They get easier with wear. Like, the hardware will wear down with use, and so they'll be easier to snap in. It's just like any new hardware of any kind. It's like difficult to use at first, but then with use it gets easier. And I'm like, oh, okay, so I guess that'll be fine. So that also, side note, lets me know that eventually I'm going to need to get my posts replaced because the little doohickey up at the top that makes the snappy noise when the caps go down over it is going to wear down flat, and or the insides of the caps on my denture are going to wear out and flatten out and no longer snap in. So that's something that they don't really tell you when you get implants, is that your hardware is going to need to be replaced eventually. I don't know what the timeline on that looks like. I didn't think to ask. I'll ask at my next visit on Monday. I have an appointment Monday at 2:00 for to have be fitted with my permanents. So new video Monday. Yeah. So I didn't think to ask, but I will ask. But that's a little disconcerting to me, because you figure with titanium implants and, gold is a soft metal. The caps are gold because I have sensitive skin. I'm not able to use, the surgical steel or whatever. So titanium implants, gold caps, it's a soft metal and it'll wear down eventually. So I don't know if that's going to be, when that needs to be replaced, if they can just be a new set put into my denture, or if I'm going to have new dentures made, or if I'm going to have a hard reline done to reset a new set of those anchor caps. So we'll see. I'll ask more about that at my next visit, like I said, and come back with what I find out. So yeah, there's my update on the implants. I won't have anything more for you until Monday on that. So until next time, when I have a fresh new video for you, be good to each other, keep smiling, and keep being awesome.